Hey loves, so I wanted to come back to you guys with an assumption video, and I'm going to do each assumption with their own video, so they're probably like short 5-minute videos, but I feel like each assumption needs its own explanation. And the first assumption was an assumption that my hubby saw, and it was the assumption that I'm a gold digger, and it was on my apartment tour. I couldn't understand that. I was like, it was on my apartment tour that we both pay for. It wasn't on a house tour or townhouse tour or a 7-bedroom mansion. It was an apartment tour. So I couldn't get or understand why someone said that I was a gold digger when we're moving into an apartment. Who said he was rich? I never said he was rich. If he's rich, you guys don't know. I mean, it was just so surprising to me. And I felt like, why don't we deserve each other? What would make someone think that the only reason why I would be with him is because he's rich? To me, he's attractive. To me, he is everything that I've ever looked for and been looking for. He was everything that I didn't know that I needed. Because in my first marriage, all I thought I wanted and I needed was love and someone to have a family with. That's all I thought I needed. After that relationship, I realized everything I needed, and I wrote down every single thing I needed in a man. It was like a list of 15 to 20 things. It was, I wanted a man who was honest. When I say honest, I mean honest, like never lies. He stands on his morals and his values and has no reason to lie to me for any reason at all. I wanted a man who was obviously nice and kind at all times, whether it's to me, to family, to friends. I wanted a man with no addictions to any substances, a man who has no criminal record, a man who can love my kids the way I love my kids, a man who is willing to support me and my kids, doesn't have to support me and my kids, but wants to support me and my kids. I wanted a man who loved me for me, a man who loved my body as it is after having 2 kids, who loved my big huge boobs and areolas that I have from breastfeeding, because my ex-husband told me he didn't like my body anymore. After giving him 2 kids, he didn't like my body anymore. My body was no longer attractive to him. So I wanted to find someone who loved my body after the 2 babies. Now that I have an outie belly button and a pooch on my stomach, I wanted a man who loved that, who loved a womanly body, and who wouldn't degrade me and tell me my body is sloppy. There's just so many things I wanted in a man, and he checked off on every single thing. I mean, when I say checked off, I was like so surprised. He was everything. The only thing that I didn't so much want was pets, and he did have pets. So that was like literally the only thing, but I have no problem with pets. It's just not something that I was necessarily looking for, but I love his pets. Like, he is just so amazing to both me and my kids. My kids love him to death. My kids, when they come to my house or our house, they're excited. They're like, Charlie, 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 Charlie. And it's just so funny how they don't want to be anywhere but with me and Charlie. Anywhere else they go, they don't want to be. And I'm not going to go into detail about that, but they don't want to be anywhere else but with me and Charlie. And when they go other places, I won't say where, they cry. But when they're with me and Charlie, they are as happy as can be. And I wanted to also let you know, Charlie didn't meet my kids until we got engaged. I always said to myself, no one is meeting my children until I know I'm spending the rest of my life with this man. Now, I'm not going to have men coming in and out of their lives. I didn't want any of that. So once we got engaged, my kids met Charlie and fell in love with Charlie immediately. Charlie has no kids of his own. So it was a work in progress. He had to learn how to be a father. And my kids still loved him, even though it was a learning process. And I had to tell him some things like, oh, I don't like this or I like that. But he learned and he got used to it. And he's an amazing father to my kids. He's been more involved in my kids' life than their own father. He's been to every meeting, every school meeting. Now my kids are finally going to school down here in the city that we live in. He's been to every meeting. And I'm not going to say the person's name, but the other person wasn't at not one meeting. So the other person doesn't pay child support and hasn't paid in a really long time. You know who supports my kids? Charlie and I. And he has absolutely no qualms about it. He has absolutely no problems with it. To him, my kids are his kids. So the whole gold digging thing was just a huge surprise to me. I was like, where is this coming from? I love this man to death. He is so attractive to me. He is everything that I want in a man, everything that I wanted and didn't know that I needed. Charlie is just the love of my life, and I love him from the bottom of my heart, and he knows that. And so when he read that comment, he just chuckled because he knew it was a lie, or it wasn't true. But anyways, any more assumptions you guys have, please write them down below. I'll do more assumption videos for you guys. But just know that one thing I'm not is I'm not a gold digger. I can make my own gold. I have a master's of my own. Bye, loves.